Happy Labor Day, everyone! Now, I don't know about you, but something that really annoys me is how much labor I put into every week just to pay off my student loans. Student loans annoy the shit out of me. The crap. So much so that I've spent a considerable amount of time researching how to pay off my loans quicker, how to save money on my loans, and just get them out of my life. The purpose of this video is to pass along some of that knowledge to you. Now, before I start, I want to say that no one sponsored this video. This is just me talking. The first thing I want to say is that you need to pay your loans. If you're having a hard time or you graduate and you get a job that doesn't pay as well as you were hoping, the first thing you need to pay is your loans. If you have to put other things on a credit card in the meantime, as bad as that sounds, it's probably what you should do. Student loan debt cannot be forgiven or is almost never forgiven in bankruptcy, whereas your credit card debt probably would be. You need to pay your loans because if you get into a pickle and you needed to claim bankruptcy, those aren't going to go away. Next thing is that paying your debt really helps in the future if you need to refinance. Having good credit is extremely important. Something else that's really important is working with your loan providers. If you're having a hard time making your payments, especially through government loans, there are options for graduated payments, like a pyramid payment scheme, something like that. For private lenders, it's a lot more difficult, but a lot of them will allow you to do financial difficulty forbearance or something like that. So talk to your provider if you're having difficulties. But now let's say that you're paying your loans and you have great credit and you just want to get them out of your life quicker. That's where my life went. If you have decent credit, there are a couple companies out there who will let you refinance your loans and get you a much lower interest rate. I personally took out a private loan in addition to my federal loans for each year of college, and I had interest rates between 6.75% all the way up to 8.89%. Most of them were fixed. The lowest one was actually the variable rate. And all of my loans were for 15 or 20 years. There were 2 for 15, 2 for 20. I refinanced the first time about 3 years ago, all 4 of those loans into one loan that was for 10 years at an interest rate of something like 6.375%. Now, going down so much in interest rate, I also went way down in payments, but because I shortened my loan repayment period, my payments actually ended up going up a little bit. But by paying them off quicker and with lower interest, I was estimated to save almost $27,000 over the lifetime of my loans. That's a lot of money, and they will be out of my life a lot quicker. About a year and a half later, I refinanced again and went down another percentage point in interest in only a couple months in time. But I saved another $5,000 estimated over the lifetime of my loan. And interest alone, guys, is crazy. And it's just what gets me. I don't understand why we're paying so much for education. It really fries me when people say, oh, you knew what you were doing when you took out the money. Well, guess what? I went to college right before the recession happened, and I distinctly remember a guidance counselor coming to my class and saying, don't worry about how much college costs. You can take out loans to cover the cost, and when you graduate, you're going to be making so much money, it won't even matter. And so I was like, oh my God, I can go to any school I want. And I came from a small town in Maine. This was huge to go to school in Boston and know that I would be able to afford it after I graduated. Well, that didn't really happen. I've been fortunate in a lot of ways that I can still make my payments. I know there are some people out there who can't. I'm very thankful for that every day. So yeah, the 2 refinancing companies I used were SoFi and Earnest. SoFi is cool. The social refinancing part of it is that originally alumni of different schools would put this money that was going to be lent out into a pot, and then people who needed to refinance would take out the money. And the thinking behind that was that there would be some sort of investment in who was using the money, which is a cool idea. Earnest is a little newer. I think they're both out of San Francisco, but Earnest, I like how theirs is very flexible. You can choose very specific time periods or very specific monthly payments, and they make the loan terms around you. Earnest also takes into account a variety of factors, not just your credit. They take into account your saving behavior, they take into account investments and stuff like that. So they'll ask you a lot of information about your financials. But yeah, so I know how stressful student loans can be. Refinancing, I think, is probably one of the best things I've ever done. Over the lifetime of my loans, I'll have saved over $32,000. That's just crazy. I'll pay them off way quicker, almost a decade faster than I would have. I also get to pay one payment instead of four. Something to note is if you're looking into refinancing, make sure that you look at your government loans. You might not want to refinance those because they come with a lot of added benefits. I personally just did my private loans. I think there's a lot that needs to be done in terms of this, especially for those people who took out the loans previously and are struggling to make their payments. I know they're trying to put some legislation out there for the people who are going to college, but there's a lot of us who are struggling still. Almost half of my post-tax income goes to my student loans. It makes it very hard for me to live a modern life. One of the things we could do is maybe make student loan payments pre-tax. Why are we paying tax on our education? It makes very little sense. Anyway, I hope this information was helpful. Like I said, the two companies I used are SoFi and Earnest. I think it's SoFi.com and MeetEarnest.com. Although those companies didn't sponsor my video, I do have referral links. So if you found this information helpful, help me out by using my links. They'll be in the description box below. I do get, I think, like a couple $100 if you refinance through my links. You also get a kickback. You'll get some money if you use those links. Very, very awesome way to help you save some money. If you found this video helpful or informative, or you'd like to see something similar, let me know. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be posting some more awesome stuff soon, so I hope to see you then. All right, bye!